Hey everybody, it's December 25th, 2021, Christmas Day. It's time for a home update. So, in my previous home updates, you may have, you may have heard me mention, if I did mention, that I was really hoping to be in here by Christmas. Well, I'm not in here on Christmas, but I'm getting very close to being done. I do have good news to report. The home is almost ready for final inspection. The decks are just about complete, all three of them. As you can see, there's quite a bit of a difference on the front of the home now versus how it looked in the previous home update. The stairs for both the front and side deck are complete. The stairs for the back deck are also complete. Everything's pretty much done there. It's just a few little odds and ends I gotta do tomorrow, and after that I'm hoping to have my final inspection done, and I'm just praying it passes, because if it fails, then I'm gonna have to correct something. This is gonna add more delay to this whole thing, so I really hope it passes. That way I can get the town out here to do the zoning inspection. Basically they come out to confirm that the home is set up the way that it was set up as far as the permit goes, setbacks, all that good stuff, and it is. But they said they had to come out and just confirm that, basically, my understanding. So once that's done, I should be granted the certificate of occupancy, and at that point, that building permit sticker up there in the window is coming out. Finally. So let's get a walk around. So there's the front porch. As I mentioned, front steps are complete. Here's the side porch. Its steps are also complete. And I've had to do a lot of work to this porch. I just got done working on it, actually. It needs a little bit more stuff done to it. I mean, it's pretty basic stuff, but for example, what I've done recently is I had to add 2x6s under here, and I had to add joist hangers to this thing because they hadn't built them when they built this porch back in, I guess, 2010. They cheaped out. I'm pretty sure this thing probably was built without a building permit, but it's. I took a really cheaply built porch and hardened it up quite a bit. So I added additional 2x6s under here to harden this thing up, pretty much to get it within what the code calls for as far as floor joist spacing, because this thing has the 5/4 by 6 boards on it, and this thing had 24-inch on center space in between the two joists, and that was far too much. I think the code calls for a max of 19.2 inches, something like that. So I doubled up the 2x6s, and now this thing, there's a very noticeable difference. When you walk on it, there's hardly any bounce at all now. It used to be when you walk on this thing, I always remember, because this used to be the front porch on the single wide. So when you look on my channel at storm videos and see videos labeled porch, at least videos from late 2016 through early 2021, I think the last storm video I filmed on this porch before the home update, the home project started, I think was a thunderstorm in March of this year, and that was it. We had a big storm in March, and that was, I think, the final thunderstorm video shot off this porch. It was a covered screened-in porch previously, as y'all may know. So yeah, had to add those 2x6s under there and add the hangers, all that good stuff, and also got these back legs attached to the footing like they're supposed to be. Pretty much I dug footings out for the front legs, and I attached the legs at the back. So this one is freestanding. It's, I'd say, totally independent of the house, aside from having like the tops of the rails screwed in, which they're not actually screwed in yet. That's one thing I gotta do tomorrow. Just like I say, just little odds and ends. But it's almost done, guys. Like I say, provided everything goes okay with the final inspection, I'm hoping to have my CO next week. Which, I mean, tomorrow starts next week, so hopefully I have my CO next week, and I can begin the process of moving back in. Still waiting on my roofer to come out. He said he should be able to get here before Christmas, but he hasn't been able to get here just yet. So I'm going to follow up with him again. Say, hey, can you get it done this week? Because roof really needs to be fixed. But other than that, I mean, it's really just, I got to do some cosmetic work inside. I got to, of course, the carpet's got to be stitched back together at the center. Well, it's going to be glued back together at the center. And some drywall work, stuff like that. It's nothing too major. But you can see here we have I'd say a pretty much completed back porch. Got to do a couple little things to it. Nothing major. I did the bulk of the wrap-up work today. So the back porch, as you see it, is pretty much finished. Next spring, I'll be staining this thing or painting it to match the color of the rails, that brownish color. That's what I plan to. I plan to stain it that color to match the color theme of the home. So you can see we got our steps done here. We can actually walk up here on the porch. And it's still kind of a mess up here. I got to finish putting stuff up. So yeah. So this is the back porch on the new home, overlooking my backyard. As I think I mentioned in my previous home update, I was able to walk, I think, in like spots over here, because I was looking back at my previous video, and I had started the deck surface. I mean, the joists were there, and I was starting to lay down boards. But now the boards they're all down. The rails are up. It's pretty much done. And I got this nice back deck. Of course, got the side deck, which used to be the front deck off the single wide. And of course, the front deck on the home, which I'm hoping to eventually extend the roof over to have a covered front porch. Yeah, the front porch is pretty tiny. I mean, I used to have a big front porch. I mean, of course, the side porch over there. But having this giant back porch and side porch, it really just, it makes up for it. I'll say, it makes up for it. I'm going to tell you what's funny, guys, is the fact that this home, I mean, it has these 3 back doors. I mean, this thing had to be a custom order. Now, at first, I kind of thought maybe the doors were added in. Heck, the first day I looked at the home, well, actually, when I think I was looking at it on Craigslist, because my mom actually found this home on Craigslist one Sunday morning back in February of this year. When I was looking at it, I was like, this had to been like a typical double wide mobile home or manufactured home that was just gone through and upgraded. Which, you know, sometimes people do that to them and make nice homes out of them. But once I got to know the place, especially once it was broken half and moved down here, that's when I started to realize, hey, this thing pretty much was built this way. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, given this used to be a waterfront home, used to back up to a cove. I mean, obviously, whoever wanted a home, wanted a lot. They weren't going to go cheap. They weren't going to go with the basic in home. So they went with something really nice here. And as I've told some of my friends talking about this place, I was talking with a friend. I think it was a friend of mine who they just moved to a stick-built home sometime back, and they were upgrading it, and pretty much the stick-built home, it it was built pretty cheap in. It had paneling and stuff inside, and it was just real basic in. And I said, you know what? When it comes to this kind of stuff, I said, you can have it built however you want. You can either go cheap and have this your basic house, or you can go premium and have it built really nice. So, I mean, I'll be honest, guys. I know I know I'm like bragging about my house. I realize that. I mean, but I just never. I'll be honest, guys. Anybody could tell me a year ago that I would have this, I'd be like, "You out of your mind? There's no way." But here it is, the end of 2021, and here we are wrapping up the big home update of 2021, or at least we're wrapping up the bulk of the work, at least to where I can begin to move in. There's still going to be some work that's going to be done to this home, even after I'm moved in. For example, all this right here, all this siding, is going to come off, and I got to go in there and replace some rotted wood inside there because of this roof leak. It's man, I'm telling you guys, I've lived in this area my whole life. I'm 30 years old. I've lived here my whole life, and I never used to hear coyotes to the extent I hear them now. It's like every night I'm over here working, almost every night I'm over here working, I'll hear coyotes. It seems like there's a lot more coyotes in this area than there ever used to be. It's crazy. But anyways, this sign's going to come off temporarily, so I can replace the rotted OSB sheathing. I'm going to probably have to replace some insulation, and I may have to jackleg or replace some joists in the wall, some studs in the wall. Because I tell you that there's no telling how long this roof leak has been going on for. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm gonna say years. Because it was an area where you couldn't easily notice it, but it's like, yeah, it comes to show that you gotta pay attention to things like that. And like I said, I'm hoping my roofer will be out. I'm really hoping to be out soon, because otherwise, if he's not, I'm meant to go with a different roofing company. But let's walk inside real quick. Tell you, it's funny. I gotta do this on video just one time. Come in through here. Go through here. Go out this door. Back onto the back deck. And of course, we got this door over here. We can go into this, what's going to be the future home of Q Computer Channel. It's just crazy, just having a total of 5 doors on your house. It's just crazy. But so you can see in the center right here, where the halves are joined, got to have the carpet glued back together, and I gotta sand, tape, and mud this right here and repaint this section. In that section, a couple little sections here and there. But I mean, otherwise, I'd say the home is move-in ready. Got a mess to clean up. Yeah, I definitely got that. Definitely got a mess to clean up. Because once I get the CO, it's gonna be time to start getting all this construction related stuff out of here and get ready to start moving in dishes and kitchen stuff. So it's gonna be a little bit of a process. Like I say, I'm hoping very soon I'll have the CO. That way I can begin moving in and settling in. I never thought the project would have taken as long as it's taken, but it morphed into what I was gonna. It morphed from what I thought was gonna be like a 2 to 3 month project to to an 8 month project. No, 9 month project really, because although I started this in April, I started moving out of the single wide in April. Things really got going before then. Things were really going in the month of March. But yeah, April was when things really went into hyperdrive. And of course, I just uploaded a video recently that I filmed on April 1st of this year. We had just paid in full for the home, and we're in the process of getting ready to start moving it. But really, actually, I better say it, we're getting ready to start getting the single wide out of here and getting things ready to move this home. Because, I mean, the single wide had to, of course, move out. Me and my parents had to work on getting the front deck, the front porch dismantled and moved out of the way because I wanted to save it, and demolished the back porch because it was much older and in not really good shape. It was in pretty poor shape. And had to get the power shut off, had to get all the skirting materials out. And then the mobile home movers, they come in and disconnected the water and the septic and got the axles, or got the wheels on the axles and got the thing out of here. And then they come out to dig the footings, and that's when I had to start doing inspections, my footing inspection. And then once that was out of the way, they had to come back out and pour the concrete in the footings. And then me and my parents were busy shoveling dirt, getting dirt out of the way, because the movers, they did not do this. Kind of wish they would have. That's just my opinion. I kind of wish they had cleaned up a little more than they did. But other than that, I'd say they did a good job. So me and my parents got all the dirt moved out of the way. It was, of course, for the longest time, there was a big mound of dirt on the back side and the front side of the home. That was essentially all the dirt from the footings. And then they moved the home in. And then, of course, it was plumbing, electrical work, and then the heating and air. That happened over the summer. I tell you, me and my cousin sweated out here working on this plumbing in 90-degree heat. And then not too long after that, my air conditioning got installed. So I was able to finally work in here and air conditioned, not be sweltering hot. I still remember some days coming home from work and it being over 100 degrees in here. It was not fun. But yeah, I tell you, it's been such a journey. And like I say, I hadn't mentioned yet, I started a playlist on my channel. So if you'd like to go look at the playlist, you'll get to see sort of the timeline of this whole project from start to present. And if I can, I'll link it here in the video. But anyways, yeah, I'm exhausted, guys. I was with my family today for Christmas at my parents' house. So yeah, the plan it's funny, back on Thanksgiving, the plan was to have Christmas over here. But didn't get to do that because the project wasn't complete yet. So had Christmas with my family at my parents' house today, and as soon as we got done with that, I come over here. Of course, I already exhausted. I didn't get good sleep last night. Let's just say that. I come here already exhausted, and I just did a bunch of stuff over here. I added joist hangers to the little catwalk section of the back porch because it didn't have them and needed them. So did all that, did some other stuff under here, got everything done under here. And then I went over to the side porch and installed all the screws for the decking, because of course I had to add screws in the decking where I added those additional 2x6 floor joists. But yeah, so Here it is, Christmas night. While I'm not living in the home, I'm getting very close to having the home ready for move-in. So it won't be much longer, guys. I'm hoping I'll have a CO by New Year's. Hoping I'll have the CO by New Year's. That way I can be in the process of moving in and getting that pack rat container off my property that I'm paying $200 a month for. Yeah, it's just, I spent over $1,000. This thing, guys. I've spent over $1,000 just to have a place to put my belongings. I mean, it just comes to show that doing something like this is not cheap. Another example, guys. Just this month, I have spent probably about $900 at Lowe's. Yeah, close to $1,000 at Lowe's for materials for the decks. So I'd say the decks cost me, even with me doing the work myself, the decks cost me, I'm going to say the total cost altogether was probably about $1,500 to $2,000. It would have been more had I had to buy everything new. Because, of course, I mean, we had this side porch already available and had a lot of materials from the previous back deck from his home, had all that available. So that still saved me some money. Anyways, guys, we're going to wrap it up here. Actually, one more thing I want to talk about in the video. I'm sure some of you guys may be interested to know, let's say, in a new home, where would, let's say, for example, comparing this new home to the single wide, where would, let's say, the kitchen be, or the master bedroom be, or whatever. So, as you may know, the back half of this home is sitting where the single wide used to sit. So, we go right back here into this closet. Right here is where the bathtub and the master bathroom and the single wide was. Or right about here is where the toilet used to be. Or where this closet over here for the front bedroom. So right here is where the two sinks in the master bathroom were, and the single wide. Walk over here, right about here, guys, is where the walkway to the single wide used to be. We come in here to the future office or workshop. Right about here is where the master bedroom used to be. And we hang a left right here in the living room. This spot right about here is where the kitchen used to be. So where the living room is now is where the kitchen used to be. We continue forward. So now we're in the master bedroom in the new place. It's where the living room used to be in the single wide. And of course, the back deck is, the back deck was about from, I'd say about here to a little bit further over. The back deck was, the old back deck was quite a bit smaller. It was actually wider than this one. It was a 10-foot wide deck, but it was only about, I'd say about maybe 20 feet long. This one's like 33 feet, 34 feet long, something like that. So right here is where the living room and the single wide used to be. And then, for example, here, master bathroom in the new place. Right where we're sitting right now is where the back of the living room used to be. I'd say the living room wall was right about here. The fireplace, or the wood stove, was probably right about here. Hang a left here into the dining area. So we would, the front porch for the single wide was, I'd say it started right about here. I'd say the front door to the single wide was probably right about there. Walk into the laundry area. So right about here is where the back of the living room used to be, and the start of the second bathroom in a single wide. It'd say on the other side of this wall. I mean, like for example, yeah, I'd probably say pretty close to that. And of course, we'll walk out here. So, where this deck is now, back about 3 or 4 feet, is where the tech room used to be in the single wide. And matter of fact, where this outdoor unit for the heat pump sits, that is about where my shower used to be in the single wide. And there's a fence right there, just to put in perspective. The fence is where the single wide stopped. The front of the single wide come up to right about here, up to about, the halfway point of this. So over here is where this old front porch used to be. Right where the kitchen is where the former front porch used to be. It's funny to go back and look and think about stuff like that. That is very odd. I know. Kind of random, but I figured I'd just include that in this video for those who are curious. So we're going to go back out. I always should mention, even though it's December, it's very mild out tonight. It's like in the 60s out right now. It's very pleasant out here. And I'll be honest, guys, I mean, there'll be some days where it'd be like this. There'd be other days where it'd be like in the 30s or the 20s I'd be out here working. So I must say, this is very nice weather to be wrapping things up in. So, right out here is 2 of my bikes. Y'all may know this one, the GMC Nolly road bike. I tell you, had to pull them out to get to my table saw back there today. And for those of you who watch Q Computer Channel, you may be getting a sneak preview of what I'm going to be doing next year. There's a big old stack of computers there. I think I did mention about those in a previous update. So got a post, but there's the machines, a bunch of Dells that were off lease. They had they got some issues with them, but they were given to me over the summer. But yeah, I had to pull the 2 bikes out to get to the had to pull those 2 bikes out to get to my table saw, because I needed a table saw to lengthwise cut some deck boards today. So there's that bike. And I tell you, what's kind of depressing is the fact that I've been working so hard on this home project over the course of this year. I don't think I've picked up this bike and rode it this year. It's really unfortunate. But yeah, the tires are about flat. This is something that would never have happened years ago. And of course, here's the Mongoose Malice fat bike. Matter of fact, I assembled this bike back in early 2017 in the living room in the old single wide. And I tell you, it wasn't. I did shoot a video of assembling this thing, and I didn't get the best views because I didn't have the room. I mean, it's 14-foot wide single wide. And of course, I was in there with furniture and stuff, so it wasn't exactly easy to do a video, but I decided to do one just for fun. But and of course, it was snowing out, because that's why I was doing the video inside. You get the picture. So yeah. Anyways, guys, it's almost done. I'm very excited. Very excited. So anyways, hope you all have a Merry Christmas. If you're watching this video around Christmas, I probably won't have this posted until the 26th or maybe later. I don't know. We'll see. I'll try to get this posted soon. Anyways, hope y'all enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.